Hey everybody, it's Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in beautiful but kind of cloudy and muggy and hot San Diego. It is an interesting day. Like I said, it's kind of muggy here, but it's sunny, and I feel again like we're on the East Coast or Midwest or something where you guys are kind of used to this mugginess, but we are definitely not used to it here. So we are still trying to figure out what's going on with that. All right, good. I am live, and hopefully someone's joined me. So thank you. Say hello, say hi, and so I know you can hear me. Anyway, lots of news. That's why I came on, I think, a minute late or so, because there is so much new stuff happening this month that I wanted to make sure I kind of all got it all together. So I'm going to have a bunch of things to show you, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put you down so that you can see them all. So here we go. I'll not put you down, put my phone down so that you can see everything. Whoops, let's get it together. There we go. So first off is a little bit of old news, which is that the Papercraft Collective, which I'm one of the designers, is still going strong. And if you spend $50 with me this month in February, you will get a PDF with 7 videos to tell you how to make cards. Now these are 2 versions of the same card, which is my card for the Papercraft Collective. And it's actually a kind of 3D card like this, and you can see how it stands up like that. I think it's like a box card, I think is what they call it with that. But anyway, I made it like this as more of a Christmas card, but I also thought it would work really well as a Hanukkah card using our Miracle of Hanukkah card set. And if you take my class this month, I'm using the Peaceful Garden set, and this is actually one of my cards that we're going to be making. So you can 2 ways to learn how to make that card. There's also, you could get the PDF if you spend $50. I think I said that, but maybe I didn't. You can get the PDF videos for free, or you can pay $20 and get them that way. There are some new online exclusives every month. This month there is a Christmas set that includes, if you liked the last year how we had the little truck, it includes a truck, and little red truck is one of the card sets, and the other one is more of a all season kind of cards. My Oasis class for this month, for next month, is October 3rd, and we're going to be making some fall cards with that. So hopefully you can sign up for that if you'd like. And like I said, the home class I'm doing is using the Peaceful Gardens. I just showed you one card, and actually the card that we're making today is also going to be one of the cards for my class. And my classes, we almost always make 4 cards. This class you get also half a pack of the Designer Series paper and a full pack of the ribbon that we are not using today, but the beautiful ribbon, and a pack of the beautiful embellishments, and all that for $35. $10 to send it to you, and it'll have everything in it that you need. Now, some other new stuff, I'll come back to this, is for World Card Making Day, Stampin' Up! Is having a craft along, they're calling it. World Card Making Day is always the first Saturday of October, and they're going to be offering a free class craft along from 2 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time on October 4th. And all you need to do is buy this set. So this set, this kit is called Handmade and Heartfelt. It costs $32. It comes with 10 cards. It looks like 2 of 5 different cards, and this cool desk organizer. So all of you who can't, you can use it obviously for the cards, but I'm thinking it'd be even better like on your desk to help you organize your crafting supplies. I think that should be pretty darn cool. Another class that Stampin' Up is going to offer is using the Traditions of Christmas suite. And so you have to buy the suite, and then you will craft along on when is the class? October 23rd at 2 o'clock Mountain Time. And this one actually is not free. This one is $30 to pay for this class. So this is kind of going off the great job that they did with the scrapbooking class. And so it's going to be craft along, etc. There's also a list, and I'm sure you're going to get this when you purchase too, to make sure you have everything you need for the ink, the paper, the coloring stuff, etc. And that, like I said, is going to be October 23rd. Now, if you can't make any of these, they will, when you buy the class, they will have this recorded. Probably not the World Card Making Day thing, since that one's free, but this one for sure will be. And then the last thing I want to talk about is this 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. And this is something I've never seen them do. This is brand new, and it's a 12-day kind of calendar. You can see these are like little doors that you open up for 12 days. And instead of having a little candy, they all have crafting supplies. So now I know on our leader board meeting, they did show us that this big one here, I think it's this one of the first ones, is actually 6x6 designer series paper. And this is not stuff that you can get any other way. So this is brand new product, and it's not Christmas product, okay? It is, all occasion kind of product. And so some will have embellishments, some will have dies. So this is $99, which is, a pretty good price, a pretty hefty price, but it seems like you get a lot with it. But to make it even more worthwhile, my upline, Peggy, Noe, and I are going to put together a group of 8 cards and show you different ways that you can use the product that's in this advent calendar. So once you get it, once you buy it from either one of us, from me or Peggy, we are going to send you a PDF that shows you how to make 8 cards from this this set. So we're really excited about it. This goes live tonight at midnight Mountain Time, and Peggy and I are going to be the first ones in line to get this. But this is while supplies last. They never tell us what that means in terms of, how many supplies, because they don't know if this is going to sell out in 5 minutes or, take a month or 2. So really, it's while supplies last. So if that sounds like something fun, you like little surprises, you can also see, I think there is a stamp set. So we know there's designer series paper, stamp set, embellishments, dies. You can see a little bit with some of them right here. I'm very excited. I have no idea what all of them is, but that's 3 out of 12 that we know what they are. So let me know if that's sounds exciting to you. Hey Betty, hi Robbie, glad you guys can join. Hey Robbie, are you gonna get this advent calendar? I think it seems like a lot of fun. So today, like I said, we are going to be using the Peace on Earth set, and like I said, I'm going to use this in my class. If you can't come to my class on the 28th, I am going to repeat it on October 10th, which is not a Sunday. So if those of you who I've been begging not to have everything on Sundays, which the group keeps voting to keep going on it. But anyway, I love this whole suite. I love that you can use it for holidays, and like I showed you how you can use it for Hanukkah / Christmas, either one. I love the fact that I love when we have nesting dies like this. We've got little star dies. This is a little envelope die, so you can have one of the doves, why are my doves all upside down, carrying an envelope, or they can, carry this little branch. So it's a really, really cool set. But I decided this time, like I said, this is going to be one of my cards for my class this month, that I wanted to make a card that you could use for many occasions. So, at first when you read this and you pair it somehow in your mind of this is a Christmas or holiday card, it goes perfectly, but it also can be something else. And tonight starts Rosh Hashanah, which is our Jewish New Year, and so I actually use this to make some Rosh Hashanah cards. But I figure sending peace, love, and joy could be anything. Like I could use this as a birthday card. I could use this, even as a get well card, peace, love, and joy. And you could use this as a holiday card. So let's get going on it. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you is this paper comes from the Peaceful Garden suite. And I wanted to show also that this whole suite isn't all about the doves, which is on the back of this. And I just kind of, stay in the right place. Little flowers there, or leaves rather. So I wanted to show that you could use it for other things. So let's get going on this. This is a fairly easy card. So I've got some 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 on the long side, and this is thick basic white. I like our thick basic white for cards. I think it's kind of classy to use the thick as opposed to just the regular, because it feels more special. And this piece of DSP, I'm gonna run out. I knew I was gonna run out. I'm using like the ends of multiple different glues that I had for class that people seem to have trouble with when they get down to the bottom. So this is kind of not the way we always do it. Like I don't usually make cards where the DSP fills up the entire thing. So this is 4 1/4 by 5.5. But I decided to this time around. So that's what that is. And then the next layer, I don't think you can really see this very well until I start playing with it. But this is the Irresistible Designs Specialty DSP. And this is in the annual catalog. And hopefully you can see a little shine on there, which is it's embossed. It's white and it's embossed in white. And you can't really see what's going on until I start using it. So what I'm going to do is just pound over to the side here before I start putting on my ink. And then you can see all the embossed kind of come to life. It's kind of magic, isn't it? So this is like an embossed resist technique. And we're just gonna keep going and building on it. Always, when you do this, make sure, the more you use your little brush and ink here, the darker it kind of ends up being. But you want to start off the edge when you're using it. Do that little pouncing off with your blending brush, just so that you don't get blobs on it. I am not big on blobs, but in this case it's not going to matter. Let's just clean this up a little bit before I get this all over everything. right. And put that to the side. We're going to use it again. And then the next thing I do is I've got a nice brand new little little stamper. And this is Secret C. And I'm just going to kind of use the edge. Oh, that was pumpkin pie, by the way, to make some center dots. Now you're going to first look at this and tell me that this is a mess. And I'm going to agree with you, but hold tight. It'll look better, I promise. I'm going to let it sit for a minute while we stamp some other stuff though, because I want it to make sure it's staying in there, and then we will erase it. Okay. Hey Roz. Hey Corinne. Shna Tova Roz. Roz, oh, I forgot to bring it in here. Roz sent me a lovely Rosh Hashanah card, and thank you so much. She used the pears, which was really fun. Okay, so next up, we're gonna stamp. So this is using the set of 2 nesting dies that we're gonna be using that comes with this set. And obviously you can use this for anything. And I have found, for some reason, usually I just stamp straight on here, but I found that this works much better with this for some reason, just using it on the piercing mat, which you don't always have to do, but this time it works best. So this is from the stamp set. The sending word, well, let me stamp it so you can see it. Sending peace, love, and joy. The word sending is actually separate, but I just combine them. I have found that doing this on a block, especially if I'm going to make multiples, combining it on the one block is really, really helpful. And then just so we can finish our stamping, I am, like I said, a little behind on doing Rosh Hashanah cards, but I have been using this Mazel Tov set, and so actually I'm doing one more because I figure I can get these out in the next day or two and still be sort of kind of on time. All right, so I think that's it for our stamping. Okay, and before I lose this, I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the other one. Now, here's another, like I said, half used or 3/4 of the way used. This is what I do. I have a just a little toothpick that I keep right here. This may still not work, but oh yeah, it's still working. So we'll attach that just to make sure that it's gonna work. Okay, next step. Remember I told you we were gonna come back to this? Oh, and by the way, this piece, let me make sure, is 3.5 by 5.5. And what I'm doing is taking, you can take a Kleenex or take a paper towel, and you can see the difference between the ones that I'm wiping off. So the reason this is happening is because the ink will not stick where the center, where any of the white is. And this does one of two things. It gets the ink off and makes it look, or 3 things. It gets the ink off so you're not getting it on, or your recipient isn't getting it on their fingers. Number 2, it just makes it brighter. Just even look at the difference between the flowers here and the flowers there, the outside. And it's making the centers look a lot better. If I use too much, it is smushing it a little bit around, so that's why I keep changing where I'm wiping it. so that I'm not smushing it so much like I did right there. But just look how the whole thing looks brighter now. I know everybody doesn't do this, but I have found this to be really, really helpful. Now, since this is, I don't know if any of you noticed it because I didn't really point it out, is that I used some of this on the inside of the card. And so I really only wanted 3 inches on the outside. I am going to take off a 1/2 inch, and because it's small, I'm using the 1/2 inch mark over here. And now this is 3 inches by 5.5 inches. If you don't want this on the inside, or if you just want to be able to make more cards with your DSP by having this be 3 inches, then you don't obviously need to have to do this. And then what I have here is some Secret C. Now you can use this as 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch. I just had these sitting in my my Secret C little envelope that I keep them in. So probably these, I think these are 3/4 inch, but you could also use 1/2 inch. I probably just, cut it off for using it for something else. All right. And like I said, you can do 3/4 or you can do 1/2 inch, because as you can see, we're not having the whole thing show anyway. But what's really important is that you get the 2 sides equal in terms of what's showing. So whatever the first one is, you're going to try to match it to the other one. Okay. That looks sort of straight. And now we could put this whole thing on our card. Oh, come on. Now you guys remember that at the end of by the end of the day, this will also be up on my blog, stampwithdrrobin.blogspot.com, and it will have all the measurements, especially if I forget to give them to you. And then let's put this other little just 1/2 inch piece on the inside. And like I said, I totally could see using this as a birthday card. I was going to make it a birthday card, but guess what? Like I said, I need a few more Rosh Hashanah cards. All right, we'll put a few of the dimensionals on the back, because what is a card without some dimensionals? Okay. And then what I have is, there was this little leaf thing, die, and I cut it out of the pumpkin pie, the crumb cake, which is our background here. And I don't know if you guys all noticed this, but in the garden, Peaceful Garden Suite is this set that has glimmer paper in it, and it has 3 different colors of glimmer paper. I'm using the Secret C today, glimmer paper, but it also has the silver, and it has one that's like, I don't know, they're calling it blue, I think, but I think to me it's mostly like the Azure Afternoon. That is also part of the suite. All right, so what I did with these, I already had to cut out 3, which was a lot for one card, and I wanted some of these sprigs to kind of come out from both sides. So I figure, look, if I do this, I'm only going to use half of this sprig anyway. So I might as well just go ahead and cut it off right here. And if I do it right, I have 2 sprigs, so I have 1 for each side. See that? And I'm going to do the exact same thing on this one. And the Secret C one. There we go. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of get them organized a little bit before I actually put this down. Okay. I'm going to take a little piece of tear and tape. I found that most useful for this, especially when we have multiple layers, because I can pick this up like this. I can put it down over these 2 and know for sure, you know, they're going to be holding it. And then if I take off this top thing, then it'll also hold this one down really well. Now I could put some, and I may put some under, like just a tiny bit of glue under here, if my glue will cooperate, which it's not doing. Maybe on each end, just so it stays where it's supposed to. Come on, get off my finger. And then let's get this one kind of organized over here. Is that going to work like that? I think so. And I am going to, like I said, take the top one off. Oops. Put that down. Let's make sure that's going to... We need to move it down a little bit because we want to make sure it's going to, whoops, stay underneath. There we go. And then if you burnish this like with your finger, that's when I find it much easier to pull off the backing on the tear and tape. Sometimes still it's, because this is kind of it's not lying completely flat. But just that extra burnishing, I think, really helps. Okay, so now all of this is going to stay put. We can take the backing off of this. Kind of make sure this is sort of centered. Top and bottom, side to side. I always get this crooked when I'm working with you guys because it's upside down. So it often ends up crooked. And then we're going to take some of the hues of blue flowers, which is interesting because hiding underneath here, it's white. It's not all blue. But I'm using these ones down at the bottom that are supposed to be the Secret C ones. And I'm just putting 3 of them through here. And what I figured out is, like, 1, 2, 3, the D here is the middle of this word sending, and it looked the best if I did that one first, and then do the other 2 one under the G, and one under the S. And they're not completely even. Nope, that's too far down. I tend to not push them down all the way until I'm kind of sure that they're even. So what do you guys think? That is our Sending Peace, Love, and Joy card. that we could send to anybody for any occasion in my idea. But like I said, it's going to be another Rosh Hashanah card because I need it. Lashana Tova is like to a good year. There's the other one here. And I'm also not done with these, but I can show you. I've made some of them using, let me find one that's sort of almost done. I also made some using Pretty Peacock instead of the Secret Sea, but now I have to go looking for some pretty embellishments to use with that. All right, so that is it for today. Hoping that you guys will go back and listen to the beginning of this who came on a little late, because it's there's just a lot of new information. Oh, I could put you up, I guess. There's just a lot of new information and fun things available. Like I said, starting tonight, you can get this 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. And with that, if you buy that from me, you will get a PDF with 8 cards that you can use with this set. Now, I'm not allowed to buy this until tonight also, so you're going to have to wait a little bit till we get the set, Peggy and I get the set, and we can make our cards. But it'll come, I promise. All right, so see you next week at 1 o'clock Pacific time, and just have a fun, crafty day. Thanks, bye.